welcome back to the next What is Cosell Watching? Now, this is about Big Vape that was on Netflix. It's about a certain company named Juul, Juul, that was one of these big tech startups that was in the e-cigarette or vape business, and that had a rocket ship of an ascension. And it turned out that, guess what, folks? Newsflash, inhaling smoke is not good for your lungs or your body and overall health. Went crashing down and became a target from all sides. And I didn't think I'd really be interested in it. I gave it 15 minutes to grab my attention, and it did. And it's, I believe, 4 parts, each about an hour or so long, and I learned a lot. Now, as someone that's against smoking, just for myself, I'm not really a preachy type, but I do understand the impact of smoking on an individual. It's a nasty habit, but it is legalized. But I'm against smoking because of my father's health, how it declined in his later years before he passed away in 2016. He was a lifelong smoker, like many Asian men of his generation. And I used to hate being around him in the car or in the room. And I kind of knew that it was not a great habit when my dad would say, "Son, don't ever do this. You can't smoke." And I said to myself, that is a classic case of do as I say, not as I do. But it is one of the great pieces of advice my father ever gave me. So that stuck in my mind. Do not smoke, and I do not partake. The interesting thing about this particular product is that it really used social media influence, and the thing went viral, and they paid certain celebrities and influencers to go out there and market this. And it turned out, based on the social media craze, that it specifically seemed to target unintentionally or intentionally younger kids. Now, if you grew up in my era, I still remember the days of Joe Camel and other cartoon characters, which were basically banned because the government stepped in and said, no. You can advertise in limited form to adults, but you can't do it to kids. Well, that's specifically what happened here. But I do have a question about the power of influencers. Why are they influencers? Why are they trying to influence you to do this? And should we even have influencers? That's the question that I have, is what exactly are their motives? And are they just doing it for personal or financial gain? And in this particular case, at the cost of people's health. The other thing that I had a question was, and I'm not saying I don't feel bad for these young people or anybody that's impacted by smoking. And here's the thing, though. At what point is their personal responsibility? I know it's easy to make big tobacco or companies like Juul the bad guy. But I know this, from the time that I grew up as a child of the 80s, it was pretty much known, and it was all spelled out by the Surgeon General. Tobacco is not only very addicting, it's dangerous. So I have a belief that if you grew up from, let's say, the mid-80s on, you should already know smoking is bad. And if you do it, there has to be some personal accountability in terms of the decisions that you make, in terms of what you inhale into your body. So the other thing that got me thinking is, now we're saying that, oh my God, kids should not smoke. It's not good what they're doing to their insides. I don't disagree. But I do find it ironic, and maybe this is another video and another subject for another day, but why is it that people are trying to stop kids out of their own free will, right, to put anything into their body, but then they're saying, well, they could change their bodies in terms of their gender? Isn't that a little bit strange? Isn't there a bit of an inconsistency in a sense that we are telling people at certain points, my body, my choice, except when it comes to this or that? But again, Juul was a company that, to me, and perhaps they were, because they saw, and for them to market it to smoking, I don't think there is a safer alternative to suing it. Marketing angle was a political bent. I think most documentaries nowadays, unfortunately, cannot leave the politics out of it, but I thought it was rather minimal. I know some may disagree, but I don't think it detracted overall from what I saw. So my approval rating for Big Vape on Netflix, in terms of binge-worthiness, you know what? If I had more time, I probably would have seen all 4 episodes in one viewing. I had other things to do. So I gave it a 20. I thought it was very, very well done, and I enjoyed it. Cast and acting, they used the people that were involved. No real big names, no celebrities. They actually had some of the people that were affected by this. And guess what? Some of them are still vaping. So again, going back, personal responsibility. And then when it came to entertainment value, look, I thought this was more educational and very well produced. I don't think there was great entertainment, although I was amused by it and it kept my attention. So I gave that a 15. And storyline and impact, look, I thought it was an important issue about personal health and safety, but also the influencing and marketing of the masses. I gave it a 20. So overall, my rating, my approval rating for Big Vape on Netflix is a 65. And that's the latest What Cosell Watching.
If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.